Today, we released the 150th episode of This Is Woman's Work. So I had to jump in and thank you for listening, for sharing, for rating and reviewing, and for joining us as we redefine woman's work. I'm grateful to all of you and for all of it, but I want to give an extra bit of love to those of you who've been along for the ride since episode 1. I hope you'll agree that we just keep getting better and better, and I have no plans to take my foot off the gas anytime soon. There are so many things that make this podcast special, but you are at the very top of that list. I'm Nicole Khalil, and I bring this mini episode of This Is Woman's Work to you for 2 reasons. First, it's summer and you're busy, so a less than 10-minute episode is better than a 30-minute one. And I'm not sure if it's just me, but this summer has been a strange one. First, the weather here in New England has been awful, so June and most of July didn't feel like summer at all. Add in lots of travel, which of course I love, but has me feeling like I'm working in fits and starts with no real rhythm or consistency. Plus, I just prefer when JJ is in school. I like that predictable schedule. And summer camps are a total racket. I signed JJ up for a 2-week camp back in February, which apparently makes me a slacker because she ended up on the wait list, which left me scrambling to find these half-day camps where you drop your kid off and have to turn around and pick them up like 20 minutes later. It's total bullshit, and I don't know how anyone with kids gets anything done during the summer. Anywho, I clearly have some things to work out about summer, which is, in fact, my least favorite season of the year, which I know makes me pretty strange. So I submit to you the following reasons why I am not a fan of summer. Sweating all freaking day long, crowds and tourists everywhere you go, spending a fortune on those summer camps and increased travel expenses, playing Russian roulette with skin cancer, sand in your vagina, not to mention the talk of beach bodies and hot girl summers. I've finally got to the place in my life where the beach is going to get the body I give it. And in addition to all of that, I have one other reason to rail against the summer gods, those fiery bitches, and that is that people don't seem to listen to podcasts in the summer. I know you're still listening, but I have 4 summers of doing this podcast under my belt, and I can tell you that the beginning part of each year, we come in real hot. You're all committed to your growth and New Year's resolutions, and everyone's got development on the brain. So we see huge amounts of downloads. And we do real well in fourth quarter, probably because it's cold out and you're looking to finish the year strong. But summer, we're all too hot to think straight, too focused on our bodies over our beings, and too freaking busy to find a minute to accomplish anything, let alone prioritizing tuning into podcasts. I get it. So I congratulate you for creating the time to tune into our show today, however you did it. Yay, you. And I promise I'm going to stop talking nonsense real soon here and give you something worth your time. But before I do, I'm going to ask you for help. Not my favorite thing to do, not because it's not awesome or valuable, but because I've had to break years and years of default thinking that says I'm not supposed to ask for help because I'm supposed to have it all under control. Bullshit. So here goes. Will you please share your favorite episode of This Is Woman's Work with someone in your life who has not yet listened to our show? I am very aware that this podcast is not for everyone, which is great because I never wanted it to be. But I know there's someone in your life that will be grateful to you for suggesting it. So send a text or an email with a link to your favorite episode. Share it with a friend group. Mention it to a coworker. Tell your sister, aunt, cousin, mom, or daughter, assuming she's old enough to handle the cursing and the content. Please and thank you. Believe it or not, the quality of our guests, the ability to bring it to you ad-free, and the motivation to continue this show relies on the impact that it's making. And one of the only ways we can measure that is how many people are tuning in. Okay, so now that we've talked about that, let me move on to the second and far more important reason I'm doing this shorter episode. And that's because I had a little epiphany and I wanted to share, but couldn't figure out how to stretch it into 30 minutes. So here it is in less than 10. Have you watched the show Shrinking on Apple TV yet? Oh my God. If you haven't, start now. It is quite literally my favorite. And I've watched every episode a few times. And I love the characters. And it's my favorite mix of heartwarming, real, and funny. And I just can't get enough of it. And if you don't like it, that's okay, because it's okay to be wrong every once in a while. Just kidding, obviously. But anyway, there's this episode on the show Shrinking that's titled Boop. Yes, Boop, B-O-O-P, where they use this word boop as a way to create a pattern interrupt. Like when you catch yourself in a not good for you situation, or notice a habit or routine that doesn't serve you, or your head trash starts kicking in and you're bullying yourself, you say the word boop as a way to acknowledge it's time to interrupt that pattern. Obviously, it takes more than just a word. It requires courage and strength and all sorts of other things. But ultimately, what I'm saying is that we could all use more boops in our lives. Let me give you an example. Maybe you find yourself thinking you're supposed to be something or someone you're not. Boop. Or you recognize that you're in a situation that doesn't feel right, or you're with a person who has you questioning your value. Or maybe you catch yourself falling into the comparison trap and it has you feeling like shit about your life and your choices. Boop. Maybe there's something you really want to do, but your brain or someone else tells you it won't work, or it's too big, or it's impossible, or it's too hard. Boop. You put yourself out there and didn't get the results you hoped for, and you start to beat yourself up. Boop. You stand in front of the mirror and you don't like what you see. Boop. You find yourself caring too much about what other people think. You find yourself overthinking a conversation, an opportunity, or what to do next. You find yourself making a mountain out of a molehill and taking it all far too seriously. Boop, boop, and boop. I could go on for days, but here's the real question and why I am even doing this episode today. Where is your biggest opportunity to boop? What pattern needs to be interrupted for the only reason that it doesn't work for you anymore? What do you need to let go of? What needs to be released so you can move forward? I know it's not that simple. If it were, everyone would be doing it. And maybe, just maybe, it starts with a boop. It's time to shake up those old patterns and habits, to open yourself up to the possibility of something new. Sometimes it's a requirement that you stop settling for something less so that you can make room for something more. And when your head trash starts saying, not you, or not now, it's too hard, or you don't deserve it, I want you to boop the shit out of that. So, why am I doing an episode on booping? Well, I think the answer is clear. Because it's woman's work.